In the keyboard modding world, popular mods such as tape and different foams get all the hype, but there's a bunch of lesser known mods that can be game changers if they get more attention. Among them is one called Press and Seal mod, made by a famous YouTuber, Hipyo. However, despite his large following, only a handful seem to put it in their keyboard, let alone make videos about it. But today, I'm going to change that. Now, just like any other video, this one starts off with a keyboard. This is the Epomaker Shadow X, a $75-ish keyboard that was sent to me by Epomaker. However, this is an honest review, meaning that it's purely my opinion. The Shadow X packs a surprising amount of premium features into its price tag. All of the keys are self-face hot swappable, meaning there will be no interference with cherry keycaps if you decide to swap them out. About that, this keyboard comes in not one, not two, not even three, but 4 different colorways. Black, blue, green, and purple. Another special feature it has is a small LCD screen. It is an amazing touch to see in a budget keyboard since more and more keyboards have a display nowadays. You also get 3-mode connectivity, with an option to use it with both Windows and Mac. And oh, wait, is that a knob? Wait, what? Well, unfortunately, that is not a knob. That is only a way to change the connectivity. However, that is not the biggest downside of this keyboard, that being actually that it's made entirely from plastic. Now, sometimes plastic can be a good thing because metal cases tend to make your keyboard sound pingy. However, this is a cheaper type of plastic, meaning that the keyboard will sell pretty plain by default. Speaking of good things, if you want to do one, you can subscribe to this channel and it will make me very happy. Also, if I reach 600 subscribers in the next 2 months, I will do a massive keyboard giveaway, which you could be part of if you subscribed. Anyways, this is the main reason why I'm disassembling the keyboard. Because it's plastic, and not for you to subscribe. I mean, moving on, although the keyboard is plastic, it uses screws to hold the top and bottom part in place. Unlike something like a GMK67 or GMK81 video soon. This is pretty crazy, but this $70 keyboard is gasket mounted. However, it uses some strange gaskets made from silicone. These are slightly different from Poron gaskets, mainly because they're not as squishy, but they still give a decent flex to the board. On the inside, we can see a battery and a really thick piece of silicone dampening. First of all though, there are a few cables that you need to unplug before you can remove the PCB. This battery is pretty good because it can last for weeks after one charge. Now I'm going to take out the silicone dampening to get a closer look at it. And oh yeah, it is really thick. This is really good because it fills up all of the empty space on the inside of the keyboard. Now with a bit of editing, all of the switches and keycaps are off and we get a closer look at the PCB. As I have said in the beginning, I'm going to attempt to do Hipyo's Press and Seal mod. Quick disclaimer, it may or may not zap your PCB, so do it at your own risk. The main reason why it should work is because it creates somewhat of a vacuum seal around the PCB. It also glues itself to the back of the PCB somewhat like a tape mod. And from what I've seen, it sounds somewhat like a mix of tape mod and PE foam, but for way cheaper and faster. It should give the keyboard a more poppy, thocky, or marbly sound. However, we're going to put Hipyo's claims to the test at the end of the video. I also made sure to cut off all of the excess, so that it's easier to fit the keyboard into the case later. Once the press and seal is wrapped around the PCB, I cut out the hole for the wires. Finally, now it's time to reassemble the keyboard. I'm going to be using the included Poron plate foam for the build, and then I'm going to put on the polycarbonate plate. I also ended up lubing the stabilizers because they were scratchy out of the box. Then I just had to line the PCB with the plate so that it's easier to insert the switches later on. Now this would be a great time to mention that this keyboard has 5 different options for switches. I got the Epomaker Mulan switch in my keyboard. It is a 47-gram linear switch with a 60-gram bottom out force. I would say it's a rather thocky than clacky switch, but it's also a bit of a pain to insert because it's only 3 pins. However, this might also be due to the flex cuts in the plate. And now with a little bit of editing, the switches are in. Now I'm going to put the PCB plate and switch assembly into the case, and make sure to plug in all of the wires so that the keyboard works. I also almost forgot to put back the gaskets. Right after this, I'm going to put the keycaps on and then you can hear the sound test. Also, please stick around because I'm going to share my final thoughts on the keyboard and whether or not you should buy it. Overall, this keyboard is pretty nice. It has a lot of features for a pretty basic price tag. It is fairly easy to mod, and can sound really good if you do so. Finally, do I recommend it? Mostly yes, if you're a person looking to pick up a cheap keyboard with some cool features, and you're willing to put some time and effort into modding it, then this is a solid choice for you. As for Hipyo's mod, it is very solid. It deepens the sound of the keyboard, making it, dare I say, sound somewhat marbly. It is definitely a mod worth doing, and while it might not be as effective as a combination of tape mod and PE foam, it is certainly easier and cheaper to do. Plus, most people have press and seal at their home, so this mod can done free. For everyone who made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, I'll be really happy if you subscribe. And with that said, see you in the next one.